They got problems on problems on problems on problems on problems on problems. I solve them. I run through the money. The pressure be calling. Left on my blessings. I feel like I'm falling. The birdie is back. Tell me I'm garbage. I'm going through something. That's why I ain't calling. Phone and progression. It's all that I wanted. The phone and affection. I summon and dub it. Cause they got problems on problems on problems on problems on problems on problems. I solve them. I run through the money. The pressure be calling. Left on my blessings. I feel like I'm falling. The birdie is back. Tell me I'm garbage. I'm going through something. That's why I ain't.
What it do, fam? What it do? You are listening to the Urban Sports Scene. Welcome to our Washington Commanders versus the Philadelphia Eagles preview show. Tomorrow at 5 p.m., the Commanders will be home, ready to take on the Philadelphia Eagles. Before we dive into the game, we got to knock out some logistics. Hey, you could check out our website, which is www.urbansportscene.com. You can also subscribe to our podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, TuneIn, iHeartRadio, and other podcast platforms. Just search the Urban Sports Scene. Make sure you subscribe to the Urban Sports Scene YouTube channel. If you're in the YouTube chat, we accept super chats. Super chats help us support our show. The super chats will be prioritized over all comments in the chat. Don't forget to tweet us at Urban Sports Scene. Hit us up on IG and TikTok at Urban Sports Scene and like our Urban Sports Scene Facebook page. Don't forget to tweet us at Urban Sports Scene. Hit us up on IG and TikTok at Urban Sports Scene. Oh, excuse me, I'm redundant. Sorry, fam. reading off the script. You can also join our Urban Sports Scene Facebook group. Just search Urban Sports Scene, sports bloggers, sports podcast, news and sports debates. All right, let's get into our tradition, the pregame. Here's what we have on tap. Host of Sports Journeys Not Bland show, Dujunnea Bland, will join me to preview the Commanders and Eagles game. All right, let's not waste any time. Got my homie Dujunnea in the building with us. What's going on, Dujunnea?
Man, another day, another weekend of some football. We're going to be loaded this weekend, really for the next, from Friday to tonight till next week is just going to be loaded. So I'm excited. Got a pretty decent win last week, and I know the fans are, you got to tailor it. You know what I mean? You got to tailor it a little bit, but it is nice to see the Commanders go out there and fight through one where they could have really given it up at the end and make that thing happen.
Shout out to my man Lou on Instagram. Says salute to everyone. He says Commanders 38, the Eagles 27. All right, Lou. And Lou's a Cowboys fan. My man Lou's a Cowboys fan. That's what's up, man. Appreciate you, Lou. Shout out to Santiago. If I didn't highlight you, shout out to you, Santiago. Appreciate you for always pulling up. All right, so we talked about, obviously, the team got a big win. Jayden Daniels didn't play that game. He was out for that game, but then after that game and later on in the week, we heard that Dan Quinn said that Jayden Daniels will be shut down for the remainder of the season. How does Daniels being shut down reshape Washington's offensive identity for the rest of the season? And first off, before we get into that, what were your thoughts when you heard about the shutdown?
I was okay with it.
Okay.
I know he wants to play and all of that, and that's great. But right now, there's really nothing to play for. And I understand getting reps and getting game reps, but if those game reps are putting him at some kind of a risk and he's not 100%, especially with the elbow, let's just park the Ferrari, man. We're on to 2026 at this point, and we're trying to see. Everybody's trying to see what they got with what's on the roster, who is going to be staying around, and who's going to be going. So I had no problem with it. I do appreciate, his candid, admittal that, he's not okay with it, but he shouldn't be. He's a competitor. But at the end of the day, you got to protect the prize fighter. And I think they're doing a good job with that. It's something that, this franchise kind of been careless with when it comes down to their prize fighters. So, look at Robert Griffin III, that was a complete mess and really changed the whole trajectory of the franchise by not doing the right thing. So I give Dan Quinn and AP kudos for doing the right thing.
No, I agree. I don't have an issue with it. I said this on a prior show. My man Lou said before I get into my thoughts, Lou said, I think the Commanders can build off of last week's win. Appreciate that, Lou. Yeah, I'm with you on that. I just feel I don't think there's no real positive in the situation for them to play. I said this before. I get why some people want him to play. I can get it, but if you watch that Vikings game, before he even went down, he was already playing with his left. He was already playing a lot with his left arm shake. He wasn't comfortable in the brace. I'm like, you're not even. It doesn't do you any service if you're thinking about that injury throughout the process. You're not going to get any better. You're worried more about that arm than making certain plays on the football field. So to me, that's a waste. If your argument is he needs it for game reps, if you're worried about your injury, then you're not really getting that much better.
No, you're not. And you can do that within practice, within the confines of practice, and I think he'll learn a lot being on the sideline and being able to, see things, how things are developed, how, Mariota kind of runs the do's and don'ts there, because we have seen some head scratchers from Marcus, but he's going to be the guy's always in the books. He's always, doing the things that he needs to do to progress as a quarterback, especially mentally. And the other stuff is he's got that God-given talent. So it's really with the quarterback, it's always what's between the ears is what matters. You can have all the intangibles, but you ain't got it between the ears. Well, you know what? All those intangibles just don't mean a thing.
They don't mean nothing. I totally agree with you. So going to this game, how does shutting Daniels down reshape Washington's offensive identity for the rest of the season?
I don't know if it changes too much because really that identity falls on the back of Cliff Kingsbury. Last week it seemed like they really were taking a conscious effort to run the football. And I think that's where the offensive line has success, and it also allows the quarterback to have success. You saw the passing game kind of open up there. If you don't have that run game going, you don't get that pass to Terry down the middle of the field like that, and it didn't enable him to actually make a play on it. I think you had a catch to Ben Sinnott as well.
No, a big 36-yard reception.
That doesn't happen, man. If you're not running the football, that doesn't happen. So I think everybody, fans included, understand that the bread and butter for this football team is to run the football. And I think with that, you'll get all these other things in the passing game to open up and get you at least an opportunity to get some points.
Yeah, I think that the identity is what it is. They're the only thing that changes. I feel like they're more. Well, it should be the identity even if Jayden was playing, but the identity is more to pound the football, and you kind of build off of one of your strengths, which has been, it seems, have been your offensive line has been like a big strength for this team of late. Especially, I think Cosme's getting to his bag now. He's feeling healthier. You can see that his improved play. And it's making him better. And then also with that is making a young boy, Josh Conley, play better. So I just think that having, go work with your strong side of your offense, which is the offensive line right now, and in the run game. You saw what Bill was doing. Then you're getting Chris Rodriguez back for this game. So you're going to have a three-headed monster, because I don't want to shortchange Jeremy McNichols, because he's been playing. Playing. He's had a great season. He's had a real good season.
He really has.
Good plays. It doesn't show all the time in terms of stats, but he has key first downs, big runs. He has really helped this team, especially not having Eckler. I just wish that they would have utilized all three of them more. Then we would have probably seen a different result for this team. But I do think that with Jayden being out and Marcus is the quarterback, they lean more on the run game. I think that if anything, that's what you can kind of land on. I know initially it wasn't that. It was like Cliff was kind of giving Marcus too much, in my opinion. But when because initially when Marcus is the like last year when Marcus was the quarterback, they lean on the run game a lot more. You know what I mean? So, but you're seeing that now, right? You're seeing them lean on the run game more with Marcus, and that's a good recipe. It's just always been a good recipe. It was a recipe for success when they played the Raiders. They played the Raiders and they had a good showing against the Raiders early in the season. Granted, the Raiders aren't a good team, but you know what I mean. When they showcase their run game, they're just a better team. With Marcus. So speaking on that, like how important. I mean, why is it so? Speaking of that, why is it so important to establish the run game against the Philadelphia Eagles front?
Well, first off, right now, you're looking at Larry Tunsil being out for this game because of the oblique. So that's one thing you're going to have to look at. Yankoff is also going to be out as well. And biggest thing here is that the Eagles defense uses that nickel defense about 95.2% of the time. They did that. It was like 40 or 42 plays against the Raiders. So they also are a team that likes to get after it. You look at Zach Braun, he has generated about 19 pressures, including 3.5 sacks on 67 pass rushes this season, producing a 28.4 pressure rate that ranks highest among all ball, off the ball linebackers that have at least 50 pass rushes. So you definitely want to be able to, slow down that blitz game. The Eagles defense as a whole blitzes on, a league low 15.9% though. But they don't really need to when you got a guy like Zach Braun and others really just generating pressure just with their front seven, just doing the job. So running a football is going to be imperative for Washington to really kind of establish themselves, because this defense, man, is not really that good. And the thing that you want to do, especially with the run game, is going to help you in the pass game. Because right now, Marshall is just locking folks down. Like he allowed like a completion, 7 completions with targets in coverage since Eagles week 9. He's got as many pass defends as he does completions. So you don't want to get in this drop back game of where they kind of know what you're doing, and then they can tee off, and then it allows a guy like Mitchell to really step his game up. And I think that's where Cooper DeJean actually is also very well when you are one-dimensional. So this defense struggles when it's a complete package. And I think that's going to be very important for Washington to establish this run, because they love to do play action, and they're really good at it when they're establishing the run first.
Just shout out to Coach Lombard, who's an Eagles fan, but I appreciate him though. Quinyon Mitchell was a beast, man. Definitely a top 5 corner. Cooper DeJean, I like Cooper DeJean in college, so I know he's a good corner to me as well. They are good. They are a good secondary. I do think that this year they've been more susceptible against the run compared to last year. But they're a good defense. I don't disregard their defense, because it's the power. To me, it's the strong side of their team. The defense is the strong side of the team. It's what keeps them in games. It's what keeps them afloat, even when with bad quarterback play at times. Their defense is what keeps them stout, right? Or them not giving the ball to Saquon enough, right? That's what keeps them afloat. Because they make plays. They make plays throughout the game. If you watch the game they lost with to the Chargers, their defense kept them around. It wasn't like the Chargers were able to move it. Like the Chargers weren't consistently moving the ball up and down the field. Like their defense really held them down. They had to deal with a lot of turnovers from their quarterback, right?
They sure did. Yeah.
So I'm just saying, this is the challenge. The challenge is to try to be, to your point, Dujunnea, like that's why it's so important to be able to establish the run in this game. Because if you don't establish the run in this game, they don't have any shot to beat the Eagles, in my opinion, because now their defense is feasting. If you make it one dimensional, Marcus Mariota has to beat you out, throwing the football. That's not a good look. You have to be able to be, you got to get into third and manageable, like 3rd and 5, 3rd and 4. And then, hopefully you got Terry versus Quinyon Mitchell. I think is a good matchup, man. Like that's a good matchup. That's a matchup that I think we all get to see, your best versus, our best, right?
Yeah.
But to your point, which makes it even harder though, like it's not true like one-on-one, because like the Eagles don't have to blitz. They can always have guys in coverage. Right. You know what I mean? Like, so even if he's always, you're gonna always have some type of help. It's not gonna be isolated one-on-one, because the Eagles don't have to blitz. They don't have to bring that type of pressure. They can literally go for it. No
Jalen Carter on this weekend.
That's the good thing. So that's the thing I was. So that's what I wanted to say. That is a positive because this is the truth. Their run defense is so much different when that dude is not playing. And it's the truth. It is so they are more susceptible to be run on. And it's wild. I didn't know it made so much of a difference to like when I saw week 1. I guess the Cowboys. It was week after when he got suspended. What game he got suspended? It was after the Cowboys. That was that the Giants game? The Giants game, right? I want to say the Giants game. I did not know. Like I was like, oh, he a difference maker. Like I know he a difference maker, but he's really a difference maker. Like your defense goes from being elite to being solid. To being like solid. I don't want to hear you say mad because they got playmakers to be like solid. So yeah, I think that it's important because Jalen Carter is out that you take advantage of it because that man and Washington knows. If you watched what happened in the NFC Championship game, you watch what happened even throughout the season last year, throughout in the regular season. What he did was he was a game wrecker.
Yeah,
for most of Washington's games against the Philadelphia Eagles. So yeah, that's what it was. It's week 1. Yeah, so I'm gonna say it was that Giants game. It was a Giants game where I think it was a Giants game where he got kind of like screwed out that situation.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I would I think that sorry, I'm getting like a note from this, but I think everything's okay. But yeah, I would definitely in terms of the team running, run at like definitely. I would run often. Like I would the splits. I would make sure they run way more compared to what they've done. Like that would be it. Like they'd be running nonstop.
You know what's crazy about this too? Both defenses are like this, but the Eagles defense like 20.2 and the Commanders defense 19.4 have allowed the 3rd most and the 5th most scramble rushing yards per game this season, respectively. So not only do you have if you run the ball well, then you have that ability of at times maybe Mariota just goes and takes off and gets some yards because both of these defenses have proven to be susceptible to giving up rushing yards to the quarterback. The only thing about it is, it seems to me that Jalen Hurts is not trying to run the football.
Yeah, he's not as mobile as he used to be too either. No shade on Jalen Hurts. He's not as fast as he used to be.
No, but it's like he's not, even when there's opportunities that the opportunities have been there, and it's like you're like, go, and he's just standing there looking to just, I don't know what he's trying to prove to be a pocket passer or what the deal is, but he's not running it as much as he used to. So that may help Washington's defense a little bit. So the main concern though is just making sure you stop Saquon.
What did Deluxe? Deluxe, we're going on. Deluxe is that stat because of the quarterbacks the division has faced this year? Is that stat because of the QBs the division has faced this year? What stat is he referring to? Deluxe, what stat are you referring to? But I would say Jalen. And speaking of their offense, let's go to their offense. Let's go to the Eagles' offense and what they bring to the table. We know about AJ Brown.
Yeah,
and what
Mikey did a good job on him last year, though.
Last year, he did a good job. Did a solid job. But they're down corners. Hamilton played well, but it's a different animal now.
Right.
You're going against more elite wide receivers.
No Lane Johnson.
No Lane Johnson. There's no Lane Johnson. There's no Lane Johnson. So pass rush. I don't talk about a pass rush because it's like, it is what it is. Oh, yards given up the scrambling quarterbacks. Oh, okay. Yeah, I got you.
That probably has a lot to do with the teams that they have played within the, not just the division, but also the teams they have kind of played throughout the season. Is the reason. Especially, I think you saw Jackson Dart, get some pretty major rushing yards against the Eagles as well. So I think it has a lot to do with that.
Yeah, but I think that when you look at, but still, even when you're going against Devontae Smith and AJ Brown, which are two like talented receivers, which again, it's mind-boggling how some of those dudes can go like catchless or get a catch a game because again, it is what it is. But and then we all know what a dude that terrorizes this team historically is Saquon Barkley.
That is.
And to me, that has to be a big part of the game plan is to try to take away, do your best to kind of make Jalen Hurts beat you. I know
it's not going to be that hard either, man. I'm reason why I'm saying that because I watched a lot of their rushing plays. Also watched a lot of their red zone rushing plays. And what really stood out is that they're not getting the big blocks that they had that just pretty much part the Red Sea and he's just untouched getting 5 yards down the field and he's full speed. And it's like, oh, he's already past the linebackers. He's in the secondary now and somebody's got to make a play. The Eagles offense with the ball carriers, they have been hit behind the line of scrimmage over half of their design runs out of under center formations. It's 50.4%, the eighth highest rate in the NFL. So it's not like you can't stop the run here because their offensive line just has not played well. They really haven't. And if you can go one-dimensional, and of course, everybody knows you got Smith and A.J. Brown to worry about because Smith, you could throw up a 50-50 ball and probably 50% of the time, and it may be a little bit higher, probably 60-65%, that he's going to come down with it. So you still have that threat to worry about, but man, it sure does make life a lot easier if you're stopping the run and you know that they're in a third and long situation 9 times out of 10. It really plays into the defense's hands now to get that work in and be able to have a Von Miller get more times to go back there and get Jalen Hurts down. It's going to be imperative though that the secondary plays quality football. You know what they're going to do. They're going to go for the weaknesses that have kind of shown itself here for the Washington defense. But if you can continue the trend here with the running backs and the running game, it gives yourself a really, really good shot of being able to win the game.
What we got here? We got what did my man Paul, Todd say? The matchup that scares me is the matchup that scares me is the wide receivers versus our DBs. I agree. If I was the Eagles, I would throw this Barkley on our linebackers all day. That's a good point.
That's a good point.
That's a good one.
That is a very good point.
What we got here? Coach said Mailata has regressed and Dickerson has been playing hurt all season. Okay, so he's in that plays a part in how their offensive line has been blocking. Deluxe is asking this question to everyone: does Devontae Smith have yet another drop that gets ruled a catch this week? He has to lead the league in that stat since he got into the NFL. Yeah, he had some questionable ones. I will say this: it's hard for me to gauge Washington against any. I know Dujunnea has a good stat in terms of stopping the run. I mean, in terms of their run offense and how the issues they've had trying to have the consistency that they had last year with the running game. But it's hard for me when you're watching the defense to say you can stop anybody's run.
That's true.
That's what I mean. Like I don't know, do they bring that type of fight in stopping the run? We haven't seen that for most of this year, regardless. You know what I mean? So yeah, and it just to me, it's like if I'm the Eagles, it's like it's a situation of can I get right? You know what I mean? Like can I look what H.N. did? Like H.N. looked like a world beater against Washington. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
he did.
So it's just even, they were a little bit better, I guess, against the Giants. But I mean, that was a whole shit show, to be honest with you. So we'll see. Like, if they could stop Saquon, that would be the first. I'll tell you that much that I've seen. Like, that dude averages a big. I mean, no, the second, the game in DC, I thought he played it. He was okay. I mean, the way they did a decent job with the game in DC, the game they won. But that's when Jalen Hurts got hurt. He actually started the game like gangbusters, and Jalen got hurt. Then you didn't hear him anymore. But he tends to always make a big play against Washington every game. Even when the Giants look weak, he would still kind of dominate Washington. Yep. So he's Dude, I think he had a good game when he came off his knee injury, and every other game he played bad. He played good against Washington. Yeah. He just has that effect against. I don't know if he sees that color and it just says, "Ooh, I can go to work." You know what I mean?
Yeah. So, and the stats don't really play that well in the favor of Washington this season. They've allowed a league high of 86.4% completion percentage to open receivers down the field this season. That's 10 plus air yards with 3+ yards of target separation. So that's never good. That does not play and put things in a really good light when you're dealing with two wide receivers that can really dominate you at any point. And we ain't even talking about Goddard yet. So you know what I mean? Yeah. It's going to be a task for sure.
Yeah, it's hard. Like, you know, again, this team, maybe hopefully they'll we don't know, maybe they'll play more inspired football, but it's always that Saquon Barkley is always a tough matchup for me. There we go. We got Deluxe. If the pass is to Devontae and Philly runs to the line, just throw the red flag. It's a drop. I love it. Santiago, Vaughn, sacks, Hurts twice. Yeah, that'd be awesome. I mean, if Von Miller gets 10 sacks this year, I'm gonna give him his flowers. That is everything. Yeah. Santiago agrees with Paul. Hopefully they don't throw to Barkley. They're going to throw to Barkley. I mean, if they were smart, they would throw to Barkley.
If they're looking at the tape, they will.
They're throwing to Barkley. They're looking at the tape. They know what the Washington shows them the same look. I can guarantee they're gonna try to isolate Saquon on Bobby. Yeah, definitely. That's just what it is. That's what it is. Todd says, honestly, the real key is Hurts' mindset. If he comes in with that right mindset, our defense will give him opportunities to have a good day. But if he is being moody, it affects the Eagles team. I'm gonna say this, Todd. It's not about the mindset. I mean, if you want to be real, like in terms of, it's not about mindset. He's been consistently bad this year. Like, I'm gonna be real with you.
That's
not a mindset. That's just who he's been. Now you're telling me if he has his better games this season, then obviously we're in trouble. But he's been consistently erratic this year. So it's not about a mindset. It's about is he up the task to play different? To be real with you, because the body of work this year says that really you should be just trying to take away Saquon Barkley and then seeing if he can beat you. That's what it's. Right. It's almost it's like Jalen Hurts prior to a couple years ago, right? It's like he's going back to that year that they got blown out by Tampa in the playoff game. He's like that Jalen Hurts right now. You know what I mean? Like the most dangerous he is right now, and I'm just being real, is the tush push. That's the most dangerous he is right now in terms of a guarantee. Like you want to get him out of 3rd and short, 3rd and 1, because that's an automatic first down. And even that though, they got a good little counter off of that. You saw Saquon with the big run off of that, so that's something you have to keep your eye on. Which I'm sure they're preparing a trick play off of that alone. So that plays like that. Where you go, Deluxe. They slow Barkley a lot until he breaks a big play or multiple. He does that often. That's what happens. He always does it. Like you'll shut him down. Like he'll get a negative yard, but he'll always get a couple big ones that breaks the team's back. Yep. Shoot, the first play in a freaking NFC Championship game broke the backs of Washington. Yeah, that's what he do. Louisville is coming for Hurts. Louisville ain't coming for nobody. I ain't gonna lie to y'all, man. Who Louisville coming for?
So
go ahead.
There's an interesting one here. There's an interesting stat here.
Go for it,
Frankie. It says here, he's aligned as an edge rusher like 47.2% of the time with these defensive snaps since Dorrance Armstrong's injury. He's out there and he's been doing that since week 7, but he just has not been producing.
Yeah,
like your point is valid, but he just hasn't. That has not come to fruition at all this season as much as we would like. So maybe it happens this weekend, but the track record shows that I wouldn't rely on that.
Yeah, I ain't relying on no Louisville. I ain't gonna hold you. I'm not relying on no Louisville. Hey, folks in the chat, if you're on any of these channels, you're on sport. Is it this? It's not Bland a YouTube channel, right?
Yep, it's on
all
the
right,
Not Bland Show.
all right, not Bland Show YouTube channel. Hit that like button, subscribe, and also on the Urban Sports. And if you're on our channel, please hit the like button and also subscribe. Appreciate y'all, man. Appreciate y'all as always. Read some of the comments. Says, yeah, well, like we trying to win the NFC East Cup. Yeah, that's something that Dan Quinn came out like this is his tournament, and he's trying to motivate. It's slick to motivate the team, but
it is slick.
Yeah, man.
We'll see if they're gonna take it.
Take it like that. It's slick. I'll give him. I
appreciate
I give him that.
Yes, I appreciate that. But we'll see if those guys are up to the task and willing to do that, willing to take it as such.
As we looking at the video, we going to send Tank right at you. Oh wait. Where is we? I think I don't know what that means. Maybe we talking about my boxing.
Talking about
boxing? Tank right at you. I know.
Tank Bigsby. He hasn't played that much.
Tank. You talking about Tank Bigsby? Oh, he's talking about Tank Bigsby. Oh, Monique. Oh, Monique. Maybe. Okay.
Maybe. Because he hadn't played that.
He played last week. He played last week.
He played a few times last week, but he hadn't been out there as much as I think he should be out there.
Yeah, Tank's. Well, we'll see. Yeah, I mean, I know he was good in Jacksonville. I like Tank.
Yeah,
I like him. I like him in Jacksonville. Does McGee's snap count go up this week? It should when facing Deluxe. I agree, Deluxe. It should.
He's one of their best when it comes down to being a run stopper. And he sets the edge well.
And he's fast. Look,
edge well. He sheds tackles, and he has speed.
He can be around. It's a better chance for him to be around Saquon Barkley if they do he's out there running a route, or a choice route, or anything like that. It's a better chance than having Bobby. It's just that Bobby just gets once Bobby's beat, he's not catching up. It's a big explosive play. It isn't like a one hitter. It's a big explosive play. So why? Yeah, I think he shouldn't. I agree. Coach Lombard says the NFC East Cup is much better than the NBA Cup. Was it? I don't know. The Knicks game was pretty good. I thought.
The Knicks game was pretty good. I
didn't watch it.
I heard it was pretty good.
I heard it was pretty good. Yeah, I would take it. I know. Yeah, I finally got it. Appreciate you. I appreciate you, Coach. Louisville is much better off ball than he is at edge. Yeah.
He ain't done either one of those great this year.
I don't know. He ain't
Coach.
Better. Yeah,
he hadn't done that good at all in anything this year. Unfortunately,
I think he's a better player. I think he's just a better player when you just let him loose. Just let him make him
like Michael Parsons.
Well, I don't even know. That's hard. I ain't even say Michael Parsons. Just let him loose. Cause they put Mike on the line. I wouldn't put him on the line.
Yeah, no.
Like I wouldn't even put him on the line. I would just blitz him. Like I would have him. I would use him, and this is not because he's Samoan. I would use him like how the Steelers use like Troy Polamalu, like in the box. Like I would just use him that way. I just wouldn't. Right. I wouldn't use him like when he's blitzing. Like I would put him in packages. Obviously, Troy Polamalu plays coverage too, but I'm saying like when Troy was in the box. Like I would utilize him like that. Like he would get that type of like a third down
out in space. And
like I'm not making him like rushed on the edge or anything like that because he's not that twitchy. He's explosive. But he ain't twitchy, and he's not a guy that has great like pass rushing moves. He has a motor, so you got to use that to his advantage. Mm-hmm. And he's a smaller dude, so it ain't like his motor is like he's strong enough to kind of. It's not like you dealing with. Like Crosby, Max Crosby got a motor, but I guess that's an extreme level. But you know what I mean, like even Ryan Kerrigan had a motor, but Ryan Kerrigan had strength with it, so it worked. Louisville doesn't have that strength that Ryan Kerrigan has, so it doesn't work the same way. Here we go. The Eagles O-line and their tailback playing quarterback is the Eagles' weakness. Don't do that to him, man. Dude, just a question for you, Dujunnea. Paul says, do you see a scenario where DQ is gone? You still trying to get him fired, bro?
I don't. Not at all. I think he stays here. At the end of the day, it's bigger than what we've seen here. You know what I mean? Like, and guys are here because they want to play for him. Mm-hmm. And I think that above anything is the most important thing when it comes down to having a head coach is guys want to play for DQ. Mm-hmm. And that's going to make all the difference in the world. So no, I don't see any scenario of him not being here.
We got Saquon and Barkley will eat as receivers. And Goddard Saquon and Goddard will eat as receivers.
I say it's one or the other.
Okay.
I think it's one or the other. I think you could probably have moments where you see Saquon has a play, maybe it's on a third down or something like that, but it's going to be one or the other. I don't think you'll see both of them because I really do think you'll probably see a receiver. You will see a receiver do more than you will see Saquon in the passing game. And the only reason why I say that is they've played teams that have had those same issues with covering backs. Mm-hmm. And this crew of Sirianni and his teammate there calling the plays don't seem to do that. It's like it's the same thing with them running the football. How is it that in games you only have Saquon Barkley run the ball 10 times? Like, how is that? And it just seems like they habitually – it's almost like they're allergic to the run. They'll be in situations where you've seen it work. Maybe you're getting tackle for a loss on the first one. Then you'll see Saquon gets another one. He breaks it, gets about 6 or 7. Then you get a first down. Then they go, and then it seems like after that, you don't see it for the rest of the series unless they get in the red zone. And then when they get in the red zone, Saquon's just getting bottled up for the most part because they're just like, okay, we're just not going to let you run the football in here. You're going to throw it. We're not going to let you do that here. So it's going to be a little bit of both, but I just don't trust this coaching staff for the Eagles. They do a lot of things that I'm just like, what are we doing? You got the best running back in the league. What are you doing?
Yeah, it's here. I think coach says it's first world problems. Everyone is tired after winning the Super Bowl last season. Those extra games wear on you. I
can agree with that a little bit.
I'm with you. I think sometimes people outsmart themselves. We're having that same situation here in DC.
Yep.
You got our offensive coordinator who tries to outsmart himself. Deluxe says Louisville was struggling because his role has been changed. His play suffers by doing what the team needs because of injury. I don't think that's the case. But I see where you're coming from. I just think Louisville. I feel like people should really go. This is my opinion about what's going on with Frankie Louisville. We don't know what Louisville really is. That's the issue. What I mean by that is if you look at his body of work in his career, he isn't like what he did last year. He did it maybe 1 year, one other year in Carolina, close to it. But truth be told, if you look at his body of work, it's been like similar to what we're seeing this year. If you look at his body of work, so we just don't know what Louisville is. You know what I mean? That's how I look at it. You don't know, like, is Louisville a dude that is a consistent dude from year to year? That's what you want to know. But I don't know if he's that person.
Yeah.
No, he's not. This is how I would view a player like Louisville. He's not a main character. He's not supposed to be a main character in your defense.
Yeah.
He's supposed to be a good sidekick in your defense. Yeah. A good sidekick. So you got to get a dude because I remember hearing I want to say, who is it? Jonathan Vilma. Jonathan Vilma was saying like Louisville was the best player on their defense. I think it was the London trip, and he kept saying it. I was like, no, he's not, and he shouldn't be. If that's the case, then that's a problem.
Yeah,
he's not the best player on your defense, and he shouldn't be the best player on your defense because again, he's not. He's a guy that I think as a sidekick could be somebody good for this defense, but he's not a guy that I feel like that should be like the best player. I think Louisville will be a better player if they get a guy who's more dominant, and then Louisville can play off of that guy. Then you'll get I think you'll get a Louisville. You'll get something close to Louisville. You'll get something close to what Louisville did last year.
Yeah, that's what we're saying is that his being on the edge is not good for him.
Yeah,
and it's because of strength more than anything. Like, yeah, he's got speed, but he just can't. He's not going to bull rush somebody and just toss him to the side. He just doesn't have that.
Yeah, and when he is on the edge, when he does get the opportunity to be on the edge, he's not even taking advantage of that.
No.
You know what I mean? That's what I'm saying. Like, it's again, I would really go. Folks could really look up his stats and look up what he did prior to coming to Washington. I think again he had 1 year of I want to say 7.5. 1 year he had 7.5, so I think the rest have been like around 5 sacks, 3, whatever. And you can limit that to game, time on the field, but he really hasn't shown the consistency to say he's a guy who can do it every year.
Right.
So you don't really know what he is. You see a glimpse of it from last year, right? But but a lot of people have a year, right? It's all about what you do, because teams are going to adjust to what you do. That's how you know if you a stud is how you can even overcome that. It's how you adjust to it. For example, in the beginning of the season, I'm going to use CJ Stroud an example. In the beginning of the season, people said CJ Stroud, he wasn't good, but then he adjusts and he got his team to the postseason, right? You see it now this year. He's he's becoming, now he's taking his game to the next level. Now he's playing good football. You know what I mean? It's all about how you adjust your game. That's what my comment was about. He's playing. I know he's playing out of position. I'm just saying I don't think he's. I'm just saying even the opportunities he does get in position that we saw him do last year, he's still not taking advantage of those opportunities. That's all I'm saying.
Yep.
That's all I'm saying. I know what you're saying. I'm not saying you want to see him thoroughly in the same position. I get it. No, I understand. Taj, last year Lou was our third best player on defense at best. He just made all the loud plays last year. But Wagner was better. Chin was better. On some days, Mikey was better. And I won't say all that because he was in the top 75 of NFL players. None of the other players were. I mean, other than Bobby, I think. So he was one of their best players. I won't say that. He was one of their best players. He was better than Chin. And I like Chin. He was better than Chin.
Yeah.
He was arguably their best player on defense last year. Arguably. I won't even do that to him. You know what I mean? I won't do that to him. If you look at and that's from his peers. His peers had him hot. They ranked him pretty high. His peers ranked him pretty high.
Yeah. They did.
Lou would be better if the D line in front of him performed. I agree. This I do agree with. Deluxe, I agree with the statement. That's what I'm saying. He can't be the best player. Need better players around him. I know. That's what I'm saying. The D line would have to be better. Edge rushers, everything has to be better around him. I agree with that. For him to be good, I get that. But yeah. So for which defensive matchup Deluxe must hold up to prevent explosive plays for Washington?
I think it's whoever's on AJ Brown.
Okay, I like that. So
whoever's on AJ Brown, because Smith doesn't. He's not consistent enough in that regard to really be worried about. And we already know, the man they took from us. He still ain't. He ain't it. So Look, it's all about, like I tell folks, it's all about who's throwing you the football. That's true.
But go ahead, continue.
And you'll have some Goddard moments, but I think the man who can really change this whole thing is AJ Brown, and that's going to be important. Whoever's on him, that's where you're going. That's where that important matchup is.
I agree with. I like that one. I mean, for me, it's always Saquon. It's just about, to me, it's that front seven versus Saquon. But AJ Brown would be like my close second, like my close. It's A1. Honestly, it's 1A, 1B.
1B, yeah.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie to you, because that is scary. Because we've seen what AJ Brown has done to this team thoroughly, like throughout the process. But to your point, though, last year after the trade, like Mikey's done a good job on him. Mikey did a good job on him. Marshawn struggled a little bit, right? Marshawn struggled a little bit, but they're gonna move him around anyway. So it's not like it's not gonna be Mikey versus AJ Brown, or they're gonna move him around. So they're gonna look for the matchup that's favorable in that situation. To your point, they're gonna look for that matchup. So yeah, AJ, that will be a problem. Yeah,
and it's like
he sure did.
Yeah, he did. Sadly, what's a good thing about this is that they've been forcing the ball to AJ a lot.
Recently,
that's where a lot of your interceptions are coming from.
Yeah, recently
they're forcing the ball, and he's made some really bad decisions with the football throughout the season. But it just seems that there's an unnatural
recently.
Yeah, it's an unnatural deal of trying to get him the football, and that can kind of be a thing that Washington can kind of capitalize on there is that factor. So especially if they can't really get the ball going and can't get the ball going in the run game, they're going to try to force that ball to them. So it's just going to be imperative that everybody does their job and is where they're supposed to be when they're supposed to be there in the secondary. And I think you're going to have some opportunities to get some takeaways.
Do you think? I mean, against the Raiders, they didn't force him the ball.
They did.
I guess.
Well, it was easy. They didn't. What do the Raiders do well? Nothing.
I agree. This is true. That's why it's true. See, what do we get? What do we have? Deluxe says, I'd rather take away Hurts' easy throws, make Hurts have to go to Brown and Smith.
Honestly, I think we tackle well enough with the short game. I do think we tackle well enough with the short game. Other than running backs.
I was about to say, Deluxe. I don't know.
Yeah, if you take away the running backs off of that board, when it comes down to wide receivers and tight ends, I think they do a really good job of taking away the short game. Yeah. The short game kills you when you start adding the running back in, and they start taking advantage of that. So I think what they do well the busted plays come from there's no pressure. He's standing back there. He gets flushed out a little bit, but it's only to, it's on a broken play and somebody leaks out the backside and is standing around wide open with nobody around within, 5 to 10 yards. Hadn't been a lot of guys just getting smoked, on the corner for deep balls.
Of late, yeah, because they've been playing. They have taken away the big play recently. Yeah. Other than the Vikings, right? The Vikings game, they were giving up big plays. But other than that, their defense has limited the big plays compared to what a Joe Witt defense was doing. That is a fact. That is the truth. What we got here? Deluxe says, if you pay too much attention to Brown and Smith, Goddard and Barkley could feast.
Be balanced.
I agree.
Right about that. It has to be balanced.
I mean, my whole thing is just make Jalen Hurts beat you. That's how I'm a big believer in that. Like, I do want, I don't think you should go one-on-one with those receivers. I don't think so. But I think you have to really, I would really pay attention on making Jalen Hurts one-dimensional.
Yep.
Like
he hasn't done well this year. In that role.
Yeah, and he hasn't. It's not like he's out here throwing for 300 yards. He hasn't really been having that. He hasn't been having that game. And if he does have that game against you, that's just showing you how bad you're doing coaching football, because he hasn't looked good throwing the football this whole year. It's like if anything, you try to copy what other teams are doing. Because to your point, Dujunnea, like there are lesser defenses or defenses to par with Washington's that have corralled Jalen Hurts into a point where that he has so games. Like the Cowboys defense isn't good, and he struggled against that defense as well, right? Like he had an early good start, but that defense wasn't spectacular against that defense. You know what I mean? Right. So, and that's a defense, if you want to look at, has leaking parks, just like Washington. It's very similar. They both have leaking parks. And so you have to, whatever their game plan is, you kind of got to go ahead and copy some of these other individuals' game plan because it works for them. You know what I'm saying? It works for them. Yep. Here you go. So we keeping DQ if the Eagles hit the speed limit. You still trying to talk about it? Yeah, pretty much.
Yes.
What we got here? What do we got here? We already did that one. Speed limit. You're killing me, Paul. You're killing me. He said the owners, Santiago, the ownership will blame injuries for the season. Oh, just talk about it like the same thing. What we got here? I'm sure we got an Eagles fan here. Maybe it's not an Eagle fan. Eagles PS Big Nitty Gritty says Eagles are about to make y'all quit before halftime. Yes, Eagles fan. Before halftime. Just like we did the Raiders. 38.
Raiders are on a whole nother level, man.
Yeah,
that is not a good.
Y'all know the Raiders are bad. Don't do that.
Yeah,
you know the Raiders are horrible. Don't be an ignorant fan. Don't be an ignorant Eagles fan, man. Be realistic, man.
It's a 7-point. It's a 7-point deal because it's even.
Yeah.
At home for the Commanders. So that Raiders team is awful.
Yeah, take away the running backs and tight ends, force them over the top. I like that. I like that a lot, actually.
I like that. I'll take that.
I'll take that. I feel like that's my thing. It's just that if they could take away the run game and make them one-dimensional, then I'll take my chances.
Yeah.
I'll take my chances.
If they beat you like that, and you did the best that you could. I think there are interceptions to be had within this passing game. It's shown it all season long. So they force them to not be able to run the football. But it seems like once you start giving them a headache when it comes down to the running game, they just completely abandon it anyway.
Mm-hmm.
They naturally do it. Like if you go and look at games where they were like one-score games where they either won or lost, they didn't run the ball that great at all. And when you put them in situations where they feel like they have to pass when they really don't, I don't understand the panic, but they do it. They will do it naturally. So just do the job, and they will give it to you on a silver platter.
Yeah, I agree with all of that. You make them feel like they have to air it out. I agree with that. If you can get them to that point, you'll be in a good situation. So, Dujunnea, what does a strong performance in Week 16 against the Eagles mean for the roster evaluation and offseason planning?
I think it all stays the same. I think you evaluate the play of each individual and those who may be on one-year deals. I don't think it changes trajectory. It just gives you more data to look at on where you need to improve and who you need to keep and who you're not keeping as you go through these next couple weeks of football games. And you play the Eagles twice, so you're going to have yourself an opportunity to look at these players against a formidable football team, and it's how they respond is really going to make the difference on who stays and who goes. I don't see too much change along the offense. I think maybe you probably should. You're going to have to add. I think you need to add another wide receiver, a good one. You know what I mean, a game changer to that group. All offensive line depth is always a thing. That's never not a thing on any level, on any season. But I think where the big focus will be is on the defensive side of the football and where they can improve, there. I honestly, I don't see Bobby Wagner coming back for another year.
Me either.
And it's nothing personal. It's just business. And I see them making improvements in the linebacking core, and I see them trying to bolster that whole entire front seven. So I think that's what your evaluations will be over the next, 3 games is looking at your offensive line and looking at, see who's stepping up and where you need to improve in the small spots on offense, but you're really looking at your front seven and seeing where you can improve. And if you can add a guy, because I think a Darius Slay at corner is available, is an unrestricted free agent in 26. Yeah, he's unrestricted free agent. You've got, some guys like a Greg Newsome II that are there that you could add to your cornerback group. So there are going to be some guys available, some decent guys available. I do think Noah. I know he's unrestricted free agent as well. I know he's hit and miss, but Noah does a good job when it comes down to being in the box, and I think he does a good job in the slot. He gets beat sometimes, but that's who it's all about the game. You know what I mean? It's all what the game is with the cornerback position. There's no time that a guy, great or small, is not going to get beat. It's just the name of the game. It just happens.
Yeah, what's going on the BW show? What's good?
Hold on, Blake. Thanks for tuning in,
Blake. Appreciate you, Blake. Here we go. Santiago, you have 2 questions. I want to read both of them. What are your thoughts on Burke? That's what I'm glad you mentioned Burke, Treylon Burke.
Feed him more.
So Dujunnea talk about wide receivers, bringing in a wide receiver. I think this is an opportunity to evaluate him to see if you need to do all that, because I do think he has the ability to maybe change your thoughts of what you need to target in the off season.
Yeah.
So I'm never you never want anybody to kind of like be hurt or injured, but I'm glad he's getting this opportunity. I'm not gonna lie to y'all and say I'm not happy because I felt like he should have had this opportunity regardless of what Noah's health was.
Yes.
So I'm glad he's gonna get the opportunity in these remaining games, so we all can see what he can do. I think he is a player that needs this opportunity the most. I mean, to me, like obviously other players like Ben Sinnott would need that opportunity. You want to see Ben Sinnott in this role a lot more, but Treylon Burke is an individual that I feel like this is the chance. Like this is what we get to see. We get to see him with Terry and Debo and Jalen Lane. Like we can now assess to see in these stretch running games, because you're going against the Eagles have a good defense. I respect the Eagles defense. And you're going to see them twice. You're going to see the Cowboys defense, which I don't respect the Cowboys defense, but you're going to see the Eagles defense twice. So you got 3 games that these 3 games, these teams will be playing hard. Well, depending on what happens this game, if the Eagles do beat the Commanders, the Cowboy season's over. So I guess that may change a little bit. But you know what I mean? Like, but these games, if the Commanders can beat the Eagles, that means the Cowboys game is important to the Cowboys. So these 3 games will be high competitive games and high intensity games, and you can assess talent way better that way. So for a player like Treylon Burke, I think this is great. This is a good situation for him, and I want to see him featured and used a lot. And again, I know we know we got with Terry. I'm cool with it. To be real with you, I don't even really need to see Terry anymore. But that's just personally me, because I care about the development of the other guys. I really want to see what Treylon Burke can do. I really want to see what Jalen Lane can do.
Yes.
Like when I say I care about the young dudes, I mean it. Like I don't say this because everybody knows I love Terry, but I don't need to see Terry anymore this year. And it's not about conserving him because he hurt or I don't care. I want to see the guy, the Jalen Lanes, the Treylon Burks. I want to see them dudes get better for 2026. Right. And this is an opportunity. I want to see how they act when they in the fire. I want to know how they're going to respond when they're in the fire. You're going against one of the best cornerback tandems in the NFL.
Yeah.
And Cooper DeJean Quinyon Mitchell, two of the best in the game. I want to see it. Like I want that smoke for him. So I think I'm high. I'm perfect. When the little I've got to see a Treylon Burke in Washington, because sometimes they be screwing that man. The little I've seen from him, he making plays, man. He making plays. And I love it. And he's a first, and he's got the cliche because he's a former first round pick. So that means he has a boatload of talent. So it's there. Santiago said, will we have a new DC OC in 2026? Dujunnea, I'll let you answer that question.
DC, yes. I think you will. We're gonna see. I think this next 3 games are an audition for Cliff as well. I'm not really sure whether Cliff is looking for a college job or a NFL job, but I don't know if his performance has really, put him on the radar to be a head coach right now with the way he kind of called the offense this year. Okay. It's really going to depend on how well he does. I think his job would be in question if this offense does not produce in the way that it should, because it still should produce. I mean, you still got Mariota. He makes his share of mistakes. You know what I mean? He's got that head scratch. He's got a little Rex Grossman in him.
Oh yeah, he definitely got some Rex Grossman in him. Definitely.
But
that's a good one. That's actually a good point. He definitely got some Rex in him.
Yeah, because you just look at it and you're like, man, what the hell were you thinking? That wasn't even open.
Yeah. No, he's right. I like that one.
One of those things. Yeah.
I like that. Dujunnea, I like that comparison. He's definitely got some Rex in him.
Yeah.
I did not think of he's the modern Rex. Oh, Dujunnea, a question for you. Why did you shave your mustache and beard?
I had to go back to the Stephen A. It's been a while, and had to get the youth back a little bit.
I know that's
Mind
right.
y'all, I'm not that old, okay? Like, the grays make it look old, so I had to get back to the Stephen A.
I love it.
the ludicrous look. So here we are.
Oh man, I love it. The ludicrous look. That's hilarious. All right, here's a Deluxe says all slot corners get beat. It might be the hardest position on defense. I agree. Slot corner is because you got option route, you got wide receivers who run option route. It's tough. Twitchy dudes. It's tough. It really is tough.
It is.
Burke's biggest problem has been health. Average 8 games played per season in his first 4 years. Yeah, but like he has the opportunity. I just want to give him the opportunity. He's made plays. He's been healthy.
Yeah.
For Washington, he's been
relatively
healthy.
He's got a lot of potential, man.
Yeah, he's got a lot of potential, and it shouldn't be wasted on Noah Brown coming back to the team. So yeah,
because that's what bothered me last week. Like, not only did he get hurt again, and that tough.
Sucks for him. It sucks for him.
But like, bro, we know what we got in Noah Brown.
Exactly.
You brought in Treylon Burks. Let that man eat. Let him have an opportunity to show whether he can make this roster or not, and that he should be a part of the starting lineup. Like, I didn't understand that because we already done seen Noah Brown. So give the man, he made a spectacular catch in the end zone. Let him continue to eat until he proves that he shouldn't have it.
And that's the thing that bothers me about this regime. And for folks who kind of like clamor and have issues with like Dan Quinn and company, it's like this is this buddy system of emotions and friends and whatnot. And it's like, I get it, but sometimes it's a merit. It gotta be a merit system, like a true merit system.
Yep.
And I know sometimes they say it's a merit. They have a merit system, and people like Chris Paul have kind of got a position because of a merit system, right? Because they earned it, and now they're the starting guard for the team. But then do it for everybody, man. There's certain people like you gotta do it for everybody because there's no way that like a Treylon Burke doesn't get that type of love for the plays he's made, and in terms of once he's gotten the opportunity, he's made some big third down catches.
Absolutely.
He's shown an ability. He seems very reliable when the ball's thrown to him. The one-handed catch was awesome, but even before that, he was showing some ability. You know what I mean? So why not take advantage of that? And he's something different that you don't have in the room. He's a big wide receiver in body. You know what I mean? Like he's a physical wide receiver. You don't have that in your room. Noah Brown is just tall, but he's not physically imposing.
No.
Like Treylon Burks is physically imposing. I don't get it. But my man Deluxe got a question. He says, what did my man Deluxe say? He says, who are 3 players not getting a lot of snaps you want to see more? All right, I mentioned Treylon Burke. Who else? Deluxe, go ahead, Dujunnea.
I need to see Jalen Lane more.
Okay.
I honestly don't think that Goldman, I don't know.
Oh, the D tackle
on D. He's played. He's had some opportunities to and shown that he can stuff.
Yeah.
Stuff the run and make solid plays, and most importantly, making tackles. I would love to see more of him as well. I'd love to see more of Preston Smith.
Really?
Like you brought him in here, and when he does get out there, he made some plays last week.
Okay,
he really made some plays last week. I'd like to see him have an opportunity to eat a little bit more.
I would like to see. I named it too. I named Treylon. I think Jalen plays enough. He could play more, but I know he gets snaps. So I'm gonna go a different route. I'm Treylon definitely, because I'm damn near want him to start. To be honest with you, I would say. Jordan McGee plays. So I don't want to say Jordan McGee. He does play. I would like him to play middle linebacker, but he does play. So I'll be fair. He does play. I want to see. I would love to see Jazon Newton play a little bit more. I would like him to play more.
That's true.
I think he needs to play more. It's just like, because I feel like when you're a young guy, you don't get and except for like when quarterbacks kind of hit or miss in certain situations, because sometimes you're better when you sit. But when you're like a position, like you're a defender or you're a wide receiver, you need those snaps. You need those consistent snaps to get a rhythm. And when you are a rotational dude, and because people are banking on Newton to be like to be a guy who takes up who does some special things. But if you're a guy who doesn't get the opportunity to play every day and get those snaps, I think it's hard for him to get a rhythm to show you how good he is. So I think I would like him to get more snaps. Like I think Jazon needs to get more snaps. Other than that, I'm trying to think. Ben Simmons getting his snaps, so I'm not worried about that anymore.
Right.
Yeah, I would. Damn, I'm trying. I guess by default, who else would I want? I mean, I got doing the practice squad I want to play, but he ain't gonna happen. But I'm biased. I'm a Michigan dude. I want my man Donovan Edwards. I want Donovan Edwards to get more. I want him to get called up from the practice squad. But that's a whole different thing. Or I mean, I like Deluxe. Deluxe. Well, before I get to Deluxe, Santiago, thanks for the super chat, my guy. He said,
sir.
"What do we what do we do with the tight end position after the season ends?"
Kyle Pitts.
Man, I would want Kyle. But I've always I'm gonna lie, I've been wanting Kyle Pitts. Like I want Kyle Pitts. Like even before his hot run with Kirk Cousins.
Yeah.
Like I wanted Kyle Pitts. I think Kyle Pitts is like a phenomenal talent.
Yeah, he has all the intangibles. He really does. Man. He showed that here this past game. He was eating, boy. My goodness.
Kyle Pitts is good. It's perfect.
Yeah.
I want Kyle Pitts. If not, Kyle Pitts. I ain't gonna lie. I think you need to sign another tight end. I don't think you go into it with saying Ben Sinnott, you're gonna be our guy because you haven't really given him the opportunity to try to show you what he can do. So he's still the unknown. I would like, but again, we'll get to see how much he can do for this team. But yeah, I would want Kyle Pitts in the second. I like that one. Yeah. Kyle Pitts. I'm with you, Dujunnea. I'm not going to even act like I want to add on to that. Deluxe says my three would all be defense, not worried about offense. Owens, McGee, Newton. Oh yeah, we have a like that, man.
Yeah,
young guys that will be either here. I mean, I was gonna choose McGee too, Deluxe, but he gets snaps, so I don't know he gets snaps. But I get your point though. I mean, I'm worried about offense. Like Burks, I ain't over them other dudes. I'm sorry. Burks, you should put Burks out there too. You should put Treylon Burke. All right. You should have him in your list. All right. You should have it. Here we go.
Big facts. They got jokes.
Yeah, I know. Facts after the body bag game, y'all lost your identity. We whipped y'all like Kunta Kinte, man. Y'all changed y'all name to Cody. That's a good one, bro. I ain't gonna hold you, man. I ain't gonna hold you. I ain't gonna hold you. That was funny. Deluxe, no to Pitts unless you want to expect. I'm telling you, I think Pitts. No, Pitts had bad quarterback play too, man. Like, Pitts had bad quarterback play. The Kirk Cousins, like the one thing I do know like about Kirk, and I don't like Kirk all that. That man throws the tight ends, man.
Yep.
That's what I knew eventually. Like he would like. He's going to get targets with Kurt. Shoot, we saw it with Jordan Reed. Like, Kurt loved his tight ends, man.
Exactly.
He did with Hawkinson when he was in Minnesota. He loves tight ends. He was
lighting them up.
Yeah, he loves his tight ends. It's like Kurt will throw to a tight end. That's when I knew, like, oh, when I saw Kyle Pitts, I was like, why is his numbers going crazy? I said, oh, Kurt's a quarterback now.
Yep.
And
they were actually putting him in better position to be able to be successful too.
Yeah,
I think that's outside the quarterback. That was another problem. I just don't think they were utilizing him to the best of the ability. You're sitting here looking at, Drake London, which is true, but then you're looking at Drake Mooney like he's the same height as Drake London. Darnell Mooney is not that dude.
Yeah.
He's a good slot guy. He's not your number two.
Yes, I agree. They did value Mooney more than they value Pitts.
They did.
Wild to me.
Wow.
You gotta look at what Pitt's been doing since Kurt's been there. He's putting up a tight end, putting up wide receiver numbers.
Yeah,
it's insane. Crazy, man. It's crazy. It really is crazy. So, Dujunnea, what do the Commanders have to do to pull off this upset? Because the upset they win.
This is real simple. I hate being cliche, but it is really this simple. Don't turn the football over, and you run the football.
But Marcus don't give you one though. Marcus won't give you one though.
He's gonna give you, you might as well go ahead and make it one INT in that column.
Yeah, you gotta put it on now.
Turnover. It's gonna be a fumble or INT in that column. But they gotta protect the football. Don't turn it over, and they gotta run the football. If you run the football and you're able to keep this defense kind of on their heels, which a lot of teams have been able to do, and have been able to get those big plays, I think you find that you'll see the Eagles kind of go into they'll immediately flip the switch into one dimension mode on their own. But it's going to be very imperative to not have your defense continue to go out there back to back to back. They're not built for that. They're not built for it.
I agree. I think that Washington needs to start fast. So that's the key. If they start fast, to your point, if they can find a way to score Like they score a touchdown and then
maybe a touchdown on the first drive.
A touchdown first drive, and to your point, maybe get a field goal to say it doesn't even have to be a touchdown the second drive, like a field goal. I think it forces the Eagles to think they have to be one-dimensional. I think the Eagles will feel like they can have to throw the ball rather than sticking to the run game. And I think if you get them in that situation where they're thinking, "Oh man, we're down 10-0," then it's more. They're gonna start trying to. Well, even that, like you're gonna put Jalen Hurts out there to drop back. I mean, I'll take that over anything. Yeah. Why does Washington start? Yeah, and that's a good point. Why? Well, this is good. I like this question.
I do too.
I can answer that. It's because Cliff gets stubborn. Like they start slow, because Cliff wants to throw the football when they need to run the ball. The run the ball is consistent, and all of a sudden he wants to throw the football. The games that they do well, like you saw, even the game with, think about it, the game where they play Minnesota with Jayden, they get all the way to the 1 yard line, and Cliff just bites himself. Cliff just fights himself.
He just started.
He started throwing the football from second and goal from the 1 yard line. Start throwing the football. So sometimes
getting 5 yards of pop.
Yeah. So sometimes it's Cliff like beating himself. That's why they start slow. If you stick with a game plan, if you watch the Giants game, and it's the Giants game, but they started off fast because they stuck to the plan. Yep. You stick to the run game, then they're fine. They don't start slow when they stick to the run game. They start slow when they start to try to open things up. That starts slow.
And it's too early too. It'll be the first drive. They'll go get a run. They'll have that first, maybe they'll get that first series of 3 plays and they get a first down. Then once they get the first down, and they did most of that running the football, then you see 3 straight passes, and then we all looking around, and there they are, going off the field, bringing on Trent Wade.
There you go. So, which is different from last year. So, getting themselves in third and manageable is the key for them to even to sustain drives. So they have to be stubborn in running the football. That's what they have to do to keep themselves to have a chance to have a fast start. You know what I mean? This team isn't an explosive offense to a point where they're going to get you that big explosive play, that game-changer play. They're not the Detroit Lions. All right, they're not that team. But they weren't that team for real last year. Other than a few Jayden explosive runs, they really weren't that team last year. They were a team that they held the ball for a long period of time.
They had some really long drives. Time off the clock.
Yeah, so they're not that team. So just stick to your identity. I felt like this year they tried to be more explosive, and that's what kind of bit them in the butt. Like they
without Terry too.
Yeah, without Terry, without a lot of key players. You know what I mean? Even with Jayden, without Jayden, they tried to be like this explosive team. So, and they're not that team. No, they've never been these 2 seasons. They haven't been that team. No. They haven't brought pieces to be that team. So if you're not that team, there's no need to try to fake the funk. Be who you are. That's what your offense is. Run the football.
And the offensive line plays so much better when they run the football.
It does.
And it takes a lot of pressure. It allows Connerly to get into a rhythm and get lathered up as well. And it takes away him having to drop back consistently. It's just not healthy. It's not healthy at all. And this team hasn't been built like that in a long time. Run the football. And when they run the football, you see all that play action, all that, quarterback fake, RPO stuff works so well because they're blocking downhill. You're allowing those guys to go out there and hit somebody in the mouth. And I think they play better when they do that.
Coach, I agree. They lack an identity on offense and defense. I agree. I would say this: their identity now, if they want it should be is that offensive line, because the offensive line is getting better. So that should be their identity. It should be that offensive line. And
I wouldn't worry about Tunzel being out. I think you're gonna have
Brandon Coleman.
Brandon Coleman's gonna come in and play just fine.
I
hate the fact that they called him a backup in that game last week, and I'm like, nah, man. Coleman can start. We just got a lot of bodies that can play.
Yeah, I agree. I said this. Like Coleman is his issue, and not even his issue. Coleman's is the problem Coleman is having. One, I think Chris Paul is playing like Pro Bowl level at guard. That's what makes him like you can't remove that. Yeah. But secondly, I think it's some of it is I say political, but you ain't going to take over a first rounder's spot. And because I'll make this because I'll stand on this. Coleman at tackle and just tackle, not right, left, just at tackle. His rookie year compared to Connolly's rookie year is way better than Connolly's rookie year.
Yeah, it is.
It's better than Connolly's rookie. Yeah, it's got to be honest. It's better. It's just that, you drafted this dude as your first round pick, so he has to learn. It's not like Connolly's been bad. I'm not calling Connolly bad when I'm saying this. It's just Coleman started slacking him play is when he got hurt. But if you look at when he was getting hurt, when he was banged up, but when he was healthy, look at him and Myles Garrett.
Yeah,
the best defender in the league, and look how he held up against that. I'm just saying Coleman has he just ain't Tunsil. Like that's a different level. He ain't Tunsil.
That's a whole different level.
That's a whole different level. We see the difference. I'm just saying his issue ain't him. It ain't him. Like, you know what I mean? Game. It's a numbers game, and there's a I call it a status thing too, because he's not a first rounder. So he wasn't drafted in the first round, but Connolly was, and you don't want to bomb on your first round pick. You know what I mean?
Looks bad.
It looks bad. Yeah, exactly. So you're better off. And I'm not benching Chris Paul because he's been that good.
Yeah,
I'm not. I don't care. You're not. He's been that good. Yeah. They messed up by getting Chris Paul that opportunity. I don't care if it's injury or whatever. They messed up because that dude, and he a free agent after this year. I mean, this year after the season, I think he's a free agent.
Yeah, they got to find a way to keep him on that.
Yeah, they got to keep this same line together. But yeah, I totally agree. So what prediction? What do you got? What's your score for this game? What do you think?
I'm going to go 22-17. And because the Commanders are at home, I'm going to say Commanders.
Even though it's going to be like a Philly home game, because a lot of these folks I
know they.
It's going to be a lot of Philly fans there.
I really think people think this could be a blowout. I think this really could be a toss-up. But I think this is one that Washington can pull off. This is going to be kind of like last week, where they hung on and the Giants hung around until the end, but they were able to kind of finish it. And I think this is going to be a tight ball game. It's going to be a butt clincher for sure. But at the end of the day, I think they're going to find a way to win a close one.
I do think this game will be close. I will say. I think it's going to be a highly competitive game. That's my opinion. I think it will be a competitive game.
Yeah.
I guess I would do the edge to the Eagles because I mentioned I don't think it's like a real home field advantage.
Yeah.
Because I think the fans it's gonna be a pro Eagles fan game. I believe.
Yeah.
Eagles fan base. Well, I believe, but I wouldn't be surprised if Washington wins. I'll say that much. I do think the game. Now I don't think it's gonna be this bad. The Eagles ain't playing.
No, bro. No, I don't think that.
No. He's not Paul trolling. He's just frustrated with the season.
Yeah, I understand that.
Yeah, they're not the same team they were last year. Like last year's team, definitely they would wax this team.
Yeah.
Especially with I ain't gonna lie, Jalen Carter not playing gives Washington big hope.
That's a big advantage there.
But
they have not done well. Even with him in the lineup, with him out of the lineup, that opens the door for the three backs to eat.
Yeah, it gives them an opportunity. Because it gives them an opportunity. Because if you watch the Chargers game, I mean, again, old boy, is Davis, right? Davis, the other Jordan Davis.
Yeah, Jordan.
He's having good. He's playing some ball too, though. Jordan Davis playing some ball too. That's a big boy too. He's going
big boy.
That's a big boy too. He's gonna be a problem. He's a problem too. But yeah, but I do know not having Carter, they are different. They are extremely different. But we'll see. We'll see how it pans out. Yeah, man. Minnesota got JJ McCarthy, who also gave the Cowboys work. JJ killing right now, bro. Y'all I'm gonna give my man.
You got to give JJ some credit, man. I was very proud of the kid. Yeah. That is in him, and I wrote an article about it.
Okay,
I think it was last week about the fact that everybody was on this looking elsewhere you got to look at his body. You got to look at what he's been through. He hasn't really had no rookie season. Yeah. He shows up this year and he gets hurt and he's been out. And so that's why he's looked kind of erratic. But he got into a rhythm here these last couple of games.
Oh,
he is a starting quarterback in this league, and he will be the equivalent of what Cousins was with Minnesota. I just give it time. He's shown it in 2 or 3 games already that he has it. It's going to take him a little time. He's still working out some things at that rookie deal because he did not have a rookie season, so he's working that stuff out now. Don't hate on JJ.
Oh, JJ gonna be like that.
I like JJ a lot.
JJ got I'm a Michigan. Everybody knows I'm a Michigan fan. JJ gonna be all right. He a champion. Like JJ gonna be good. Like I seen JJ when we didn't have receivers in Michigan when we won a national championship, and JJ we were able to beat Bama.
Look good, bro.
Yeah, he did. He beat Bama with what we had. Nah, JJ can go. JJ fine. I'm not concerned. Like I think JJ now is in a rhythm. He's in. I know when he's in a rhythm. JJ in a rhythm. Like I know. Santiago says Washington 27-20. That would be dope.
I could very well see that too. This team has shown that they can score 27 points. They've shown that they can at least do that.
I mean, Marcus can score 27. Again, it's what you ask him to do, though. You gotta
keep him in the confines of what he does well.
Yeah, and to your point, Dujunnea, like play action, like get into that situation, that scenario. Yep. All right, so
he eat folks up.
Yeah, is that Dujunnea? Before we end this stream, and I appreciate you pulling up with me, man. I always appreciate you. Always great content, always great discussion with you. Before we let you go, how can folks catch you on social media and catch your great content for Sports Journey, and also let folks know about the Not Bland show?
Well, I'm on Not Bland 21 on everything. So you guys can follow me on Twitter and Instagram, even Threads if you're on there. The Not Bland show is at the Not Bland show on YouTube. So go subscribe there. We got 106 episodes. We are off until 2026, but there's plenty of great episodes there for you to watch. And man, I love talking shop with y'all. Love what you do here on the urban sports scene. Wole, y'all do a really good job. Just giving the fans the real. So anytime you call me, I'm going to answer the bell.
I appreciate you, man. Appreciate everybody for pulling up, man. Hopefully the Commanders win. And so Dan Quinn can have this fun tournament thing, right?
Yeah.
Hilarious, I tell you. Anyway, man, appreciate everybody for pulling up. Appreciate Dujunnea. Anyway, you've been listening to the Urban Sports Scene for ages. Ayedig deuces. We are out. Peace.